Now, there are people who are probably going to be mad at me for doing this, but if you're still here, hear me out. The thing I always do before reading any book, especially if I'm planning on annotating it, is cracking the spine. The reason I do this is because it makes it more easier to read the book and write and highlight till the margins without the book constantly folding in on itself. The method that I'm using to crack the spine is also the most effective because it causes minimal damage to the spine rather than just breaking it completely, and at best, it takes 3 to 4 minutes. I don't have any holy grail brands that I use for annotating particularly, but black is my color of choice, so I use a point .7 black ball or gel pen depending on what I have with me at the time. I use the Maped Graph Peps for doodling on chapter titles or for underlining because of the large range of colors available. I use the classic neon sticky tabs to mark my favorite and memorable chapters or moments in the book that stand out to me. They aren't particularly aesthetic, but I make them work and they are convenient. Lastly, I have my pastel highlighters that I use to color code and highlight my favorite paragraphs, moments, and dialogues in the book, and to match them, my Pentel color gel pens to make the annotations more colorful and lively. I have not gifted large amounts of books to my friends, but I have received many as gifts. And my favorite part about gifted books, other than the book itself, are the inscriptions loved ones write on the cover pages. So I decided to follow the same little ritual of book gifting by writing a little something on one of the blank pages at the beginning of the book. I did have to do a lot of thinking as to what I wanted to write, so a little tip from me would just be to type it out on your phone or write it down on a separate piece of paper before you fully commit to your bit so as to avoid making any mistakes or damaging the book. A little mad because I failed terribly at making butterfly wings. I should not have gone into this without a plan. The first page is kind of a mess, but we can do this. We can make it through, and now that I have like a concrete plan of what I'm gonna do, I think we can pull this off. Looking back on the footage right now, I don't think the butterfly wings were the worst part about my annotations in this book. They definitely grew on me, but I did pay more attention to what I wanted to draw or doodle on the pages of this book after this particular incident. I don't particularly follow a strict routine while annotating my books. I'm a woman of aesthetics, so I usually follow my gut and see what works out and looks pretty and what doesn't. As I read the book, I decide the color schemes and color codes for each of the characters or themes in the story. I usually follow the stereotypical blue for male characters and pink for female main characters and decide the rest as I continue to read the story. Welcome to day 2 of annotating a book for my best friend. I did not want to make the same mistake as I did yesterday and mess up anything else, so I made a Pinterest board of all the annotated paragraphs I could find of this book to narrow down the time it would take for me to physically read everything and also to find some inspiration. I have seen really pretty annotations of readers decorating the title page of the book, so I found one I liked and recreated something similar onto this book. also a moment's appreciation for this page because I think I did a really good job. And in case you couldn't tell, I love purple. Like, really love purple. Tabbing chapters is one of my favorite things to do when annotating a book because it's just an easier way to keep track of all my favorite chapters and is also easily accessible anytime I'm in the mood for a reread. I also always do this hack of cutting my tabs in half with a scissor instead of taping them over the text to avoid bent and loose tabs, and just because I don't like the written text in the book being covered by the sticky notes. Soon it got to the point where I just wanted to get the book done in regards to the annotations, so I referred to all the annotations I made in my copy of the book and replicated whatever I could find to speed up the process a little bit. I also added little notes and paragraphs on my opinions on certain chapters and situations just to give it a more personal touch. And this brings the annotation journey to an end. It is definitely a lot more time consuming compared to what you see online, but I had a lot of fun doing this for my best friend and documenting the entire process, and I hope you had fun watching it too.